Welcome back. A couple of years ago, I, 24 female, met my ex-boyfriend, 29, at a local fair. We had a strong connection, and I truly believed I had found my soulmate. We spent weekends together, exploring places, having fun with his friends, and most importantly, sharing love. In the beginning of the year, I went to a popular nightclub in our city with the girls without informing him. I met a guy who was temporarily in town, and we had a good time. Given the nature of the place, we ended up having sex and, in the heat of the moment, recorded parts of our encounter. Recording was consensual, and I wasn't drunk. However, it was limited to that, and nothing else happened, and we parted ways. A few weeks ago, I went to my friend's wedding and ran into him again. We got talking, and I thought we were going to have a good time again, but he introduced me to his girlfriend, who had been there with him. It was this encounter that turned everything sour. Little did I know that his girlfriend was one of my ex's subordinates at work. And the guy I hooked up with probably spilled the beans, and his girlfriend connected the dots that I cheated on my ex. Then she told my ex as if our relationship is any of her business. The night before this incident, we had been at a friend's house, enjoying a good time watching a show, and everything seemed fine. He woke up, got ready, and went to work while I stayed at our friend's place a bit longer. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary when he left. However, later that morning, I received a message from my ex saying, "We need to talk." At that moment, I knew. To make a long story short, he broke up with me, which I completely understood and anticipated upon receiving that text. I had braced myself for the worst reactions from him, but surprisingly, he was calm. He simply asked me for the details, which I gave him. Then he asked why, to which I had no reply. I didn't know why. I still don't know why. I had everything, a perfect life, but I wanted a bit more adventure. The last time I spoke to him was a few weeks ago when I expressed my willingness to give it another go, but he seemed cold and aloof and didn't talk long. Then yesterday, I saw pics on his Facebook of him and a girl. They were with a gang of their friends, but there seemed to be something. I feel so disheartened. I feel like he moved on so easily and so fast, like I'm some fragment of his past that's irrelevant. But he isn't that to me. Occasionally, I find myself wondering what could have become of our relationship if I had controlled my sexual desires, informed him about my intentions, or even invited him to join me at the nightclub. After reading numerous accounts of infidelity, it becomes more exasperating than disheartening. It makes me question whether anyone possesses self-control or engages in thoughtful consideration. Is it truly challenging to exercise restraint in today's world? It's not just the act of cheating itself that is frustrating, but also the fact that it was recorded. It's incredibly disappointing. It's essential to learn from these experiences and strive for personal growth. Story 2. Required information. I'm 34 female and my husband is 35. We've been married for 10 years. We have 2 elementary school-aged sons. Background. We've been together since 1999 and are college sweethearts, married for just over 10 years. I work long rotations for work, consulting, and I'm away from home about 40% of the year, so it's very stressful to our marriage. I do love my job though, and I wouldn't change anything. We have found a good compromise and it's worked for us. I've cheated in the past when we were dating, but we put it behind us and have really moved on from it, and in a lot of ways are strong for it. He does mention the cheating every once in a while, and I wouldn't say he's forgot. I've floated the idea of an open marriage to him in the past, and he wasn't really receptive. But I wasn't trying to convince him either. The current issue. So I've been working 12 hours away from my family for the past 6 months, and once the holiday season passes, I'll be back to that rotation, and I'm going to be there until April. It's a really challenging operation and I love it, but it's been stressful to be away from them. It ends up working out to me being home for about 5 days a month, and those days are glorious. But the time in between is tough. One of the VPs at the company I'm working for has had his eye on me for a while. We hit it off at work and there's been this fun charge between us, but I've tried to not let anything happen. Well, something happened about a month ago, and we've been in an affair from until then. He has an open marriage himself. As bad as the guilt is, it's also been exciting and thrilling. He is a great lover and we have really great chemistry there. To make things more complicated, I had an encounter with another man very recently too. This has all made me think about our marriage and monogamy. I've seen firsthand how prevalent cheating is, and I think it's an outdated model. It is near impossible, with even the best of intentions, to uphold. I'm attracted to other men, and my husband I'm sure is the same way. We shouldn't let societal pressure confine us. I love my husband, but the distance is so difficult on us. I think for us, an open marriage is the perfect solution. We have a great family and a great home and life we've built together. Our kids don't need to be shuttled around with 2 homes, 2 step-parents, and go through a divorce. That isn't fair to them. There is still passion with my husband and I, and we still love one another, and I don't think we need a divorce. An open marriage lets both of us explore without losing the stability of one another. I'm confident with myself and I would be fine, even supportive of him exploring too. I wouldn't be at all jealous and I would want him to have fun too. So this is not a hypocrisy issue. I'm returning home on Friday and will be back for 4 weeks, and I would like to over the holidays bring up this and make my case to my husband. I'm just looking for some advice on how to make the case to him about why this is for us. I have my reasons, but I would love to have Reddit's advice and support. I have thought of some rules for us, such as nothing with any mutual friends and no falling in love, but I'm open to more suggestions. Also, I feel awful about the cheating and I'm contemplating confessing to him about it all regardless. I will wait and see his reaction to the open marriage and go from there about that. It appears that you're unwilling to acknowledge the reality of the situation. It's important to accept that you are attempting to have the best of both worlds, while disregarding the potential heartbreak and inevitable consequences that your husband is likely to experience. Ultimately, he may reach a breaking point and choose to divorce you for the sake of both your well-being. Comments: an open marriage would require the kind of honesty that is definitely not present in cheating. Also, it is still possible to cheat in an open relationship. I think before you start trying to have that conversation, you work out for yourself why you've cheated. Not why you feel the desire to be with others, but why you cheated rather than talking to your husband about an open relationship first. Stop trying to rationalize your shitty behavior. It's not fair to your husband that you're lying to him, betraying his trust, and sleeping with other men. Confessing and letting him decide what he wants to do is the only credible option. But seeing how self-centered you are, I doubt that will happen. I think you're incredibly selfish. You've convinced yourself that because cheating is so prevalent, it's okay for you to do, and therefore that you should be in an open relationship. You've also convinced yourself that your husband's attracted to other women and wants to exercise this attraction, despite any mentioned evidence on his part, and only because you're attracted to other men and apparently can't control yourself. You mention that your husband still brings up the cheating. He's clearly upset about it. What on earth makes you think he would be cool with an open relationship?